Mic check, mic check. What up, everybody? On a Monday, getting it in, man. I know that A2HH Live is only on Wednesday now. To me and Coop figure out our schedule, but we didn't want to leave you guys without the content. We appreciate the conversations that we continuously have. And so much stuff happens through the week that we had to have some sort of a Monday show. It's only going to be, it's going to be an abbreviated version of what A2HH Live is. But, myself, we got camera guy, Ron, y'all may know him as Ron. Shout out to Ron over here on the side.
Yo.
Talk about some things that have happened in the culture. And I'm not going to, we're not going to take any win away from the sales of what our Wednesday show, A2HH Live, is going to be. But we are going to talk about some things. Want to welcome everybody into the chat. Shout out to everybody out there. I think Ron just went away. But yeah, this really isn't the first mic check, but it's kind of a new and improved version of mic check, if you will. Shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to everybody who's been following us for some time, man. I know people have been telling me that I think for the Stephen A topic, where he said that Eminem is better than Nas because of consistency or something. He said, somebody on Twitter was like, yo, you need to do a mic check on that. I don't know if this mic check is going to be that specifically, because I think we need to talk about that on Wednesday's show with Coop on there as well. But a lot has happened. This week. Ron, I don't know if you saw that Andre had his flute concert here at Little 5 Points.
I did see that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, I was making sure, but yeah, I saw that. So did you go to the show?
I did not. Hold on. Are we live? I want to make sure.
Yeah, we live, man. We rolling, bro.
Okay, cool. Because I'm not seeing it on my end. I didn't go to the show. I heard about the show. I heard that it was one of those Dave Chappelle things where they took your cameras or took your phones at the door, and they made it where, you wouldn't have any access in there. Hold on one second. Yeah, they made it where you had no access in the building, right? And but for the people who went, they said they enjoyed the show, they loved the show. And the big highlight that people are getting from social media is Big Boy and Andre, took a couple pictures together. Big Boy showed support. Gip was there. Shout out to Gip. He did an interview with us a few months back. Cool Joe was there. Slim Cutter Calhoun. I'm sure the whole Dungeon family was there. So it was good to see all those guys supporting. And I didn't hear any intricacies about the actual show itself, but there's a lot of people showed up. Shout out to everybody in the room. Jordan House is in the room as well.
Let me ask you something, Mike. Is he going on tour with this? Is this a one-time only deal? Will he be back? And if he does come back, will you be will we be covering the event? Will you be going backstage to get some coverage?
Yeah, definitely. He's actually going on tour. I know that he's actually on the Roots Picnic lineup as well, him and his band. So I definitely want to see this live. People talking about Blue Lips. Yeah, we're going to talk about Blue Lips on A2HH Live on Wednesday. Shout out to everybody in the room. This is a quick mic check. And myself and cameraman Ron, we're going to cover a couple of topics. You want to give the people a bit of an intro?
Yeah, I mean, we did the show because people were saying they missed the Monday joint.
Right.
They missed the Monday show. So I kind of stepped in. I don't know if you guys remember, Mike, I think you had some sickness in the family about a couple months back. And I stepped in and did a show with Coop, and we discussed a few things. We discussed what did we discuss? West Side.
Y'all did a great show, man. I don't even remember the topics, but I remember
we talked about West Side Gun a little bit, but I'm the guy in the background. You might hear me from time to time. But I thought this Monday show would be a little bit fun. It'd be a mic check. We can talk about some hip hop stuff, We can talk about some different things. I'm a different type of cat. As you can see, I got my Texas hat on. Even though I live in Atlanta, I got the Texas joint on. But we're gonna cover a couple things today. Let's jump right into it, Mike. It's breaking news. I don't know if you heard. Russell Wilson got cut.
I saw that.
Damn, man, that's not a good look. What you think?
Hold on. Since it's breaking news, I just saw a statement that he posted. Can I read that?
Read the statement, brother. Read the statement.
All right. Because this clearly wasn't on the docket. He says, "Thank you, Broncos country. Over these last 2 years, you have welcomed my family and me with open arms and have embraced us as members of the Denver community. This city will always hold a special place in my heart. Our family grew here. We made countless memories and friendships and formed relationships that will last a lifetime." Wait a minute. How many seasons was he here? Okay. All right.
2.
Wait a minute. What is 2 seasons?
2 seasons. 2.
Our family grew. I guess his family did grow there. He had a couple of kids.
They had a nice house too, man. The house was like 30 million. It was nice joint.
All right. To my teammates, thank you for going to battle together and for being there through it all. There are so many moments I cherish because you and I am blessed for the impact that you have made on my life. I'm beyond grateful for all you and to have been able to run out as your teammate. It was an honor. He definitely wrote this himself. Court, I'll never forget your one-handed catch in LA and your toe tap in Buffalo. Boyles, you always wrapped your arms around me, win or lose. Brandon Johnson, your relentless work ethic. Drew, your snagging and high points the ball versus KC. Javante and Tim, y'all always being positive in the midst of injury, but fighting daily to be back. Jalil, you run to the end zone every practice. I still think Barton's got you though. Alex, for picking you up years ago, to seeing you shine, to the O-line, dinners, Los Dos, to everyone helping like Lamar, making sure I had all the film and cut-ups, to Harry and Cole, the best pregame warm-up. I'll never forget Wendy and Brandy in the cafeteria, daily bringing the good food, but even better jams. Thank you for always being uplifting. Finally, to Ray, a.k.a. Pastor Ray Jackson. Thank you for your countless prayers daily. Give God the praise daily. And us getting on the floor and thanking Jesus for breath in good times and bad. He always gets the glory. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. God's got me. I'm excited for what's next. Number 3.
Mike, that's sad, man. That's real sad, bro. That's sad, bro.
I
don't know, man. I don't know. I think.
What do you think about his statement?
I think it's sad, bro. I really do think it's sad. I think it's tough. I mean, he wasn't there too long. He was on there for 2 years, and I don't think he really was given a shot. I think Sean Payton came in the door, recognized on day one he didn't like him. He wanted somebody else. He thought Russell was a different type of cat than he was. I don't know what type of person he's looking for, but I think according to many people, according to Shannon Sharp and people in the Denver organization, Russell kind of rubbed folks the wrong way when he got there, and it wasn't a good look. So I don't know, man. I think that's a really sad statement that you read. It was very long. It seems like he was very hurt by it. I want to share something real quick, man. Let me share my screen. I remember when it was good. It was good times, man. I remember when they had dinner and it was nice, and it was just a good time. I don't know if you remember this photo. If you guys can see my screen.
I don't know what you're about to show.
But that's when they first met. They just got signed. He brought his lovely wife to the dinner. It's Joe Montana right here, Sean Payton. Everything was cool. So I don't know, what happened. But
I mean, what do you think happened? I mean, because no, first of all, I think this is the question. Do you think it's over for Russell?
No, I think somebody will pick him up. I think the Falcons can pick him up. I think I was worried that the Steelers may pick him up. I think that
the Falcons should pick him up.
I think the Steelers would be a good option. I think maybe New England would be a good option.
I agree with that.
There's some spots. I mean, there's some spots that he can pick up. I mean, Las Vegas. I mean, that would be good for him and his wife. I mean, she's an entertainer. It'd be a good place for him to move. I mean, they don't have to go too far from Colorado to Las Vegas.
Well, she is from Atlanta. West side. She went to Doug High. She is from Atlanta, Georgia. So,
right.
What does that possibility of the Atlanta Falcons look like? Is that too much pressure for somebody like Russell Wilson?
I don't think it'll be too much pressure, but they will have to change their set list, right? Because I don't know if you've been to a couple of Falcons games. They play a lot of Future joints. I don't know if Russell.
They got to get over the Future thing, man, or whoever has to get over the Future thing.
I mean,
Future's music's just gonna be here, man. And the guys in his locker room, whatever team he's going to, they're gonna be listening to Future.
But they troll him though on the road. When he goes on the road games, the DJs play Future music to troll him. So I mean,
you don't think he liked that music though?
I don't know.
Come on, man. Listen, his wife might act like she doesn't like it, but I'm sure
that's a touchy situation. That's a touchy situation, It is. You riding back with your lady, she got, her ex dude was Future, and
yeah, and then one of them Giorgio money, I'm dripping in it. That's the one I'm dripping in it. You can't bob your head to that?
I don't know how that worked, bro.
You have to. Like, that's like if your wife's ex was like James Brown or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not gonna sit here and bob your head to the Big Payback or whatever. You're gonna act like you don't like it. Come on, man. You can't do that.
Nah, I don't know. That's a touchy situation, brother. I don't know how that would work. You know what I mean? Somebody in the chat said Russell is a beta simp. I don't know what that means, but
well, I mean, all right, let's explore that for 1 second, because I feel like people say those things about Russ, and a lot of times I think it's unfair. But at the same time, if some of the guys who go to war with him feel like that in the locker room, that doesn't put him in the best position to succeed either, especially as a quarterback. And I think that since this narrative has come out on him, it's kind of been downhill from there. Because I don't think his skills have diminished per se. Do you think that Denver just didn't try to build around him or try to put him in the best situation to succeed? Or you think that he just collapsed?
I think he didn't have a first good season. I mean, the first season was kind of whack, you know what I mean? But the second season wasn't bad. He had like 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, about 3,500 yards. I think he did pretty good. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened. So, I just think the coach wanted a different type of cat, and he didn't want Russ. I think that's what it was, man. I think it was something different. And that's just what happened, bro. So it is what it is.
Well, I wish him well. I hope that the Atlanta Falcons get him, because I think that, having Russell Wilson and his experience and his skill set is definitely better than what we currently have. So,
all right, let's segue to something else. Johnny Manziel said he will not be attending the Heisman Trophy celebrations. He said that that he cannot go in good faith because, as you know, Reggie Bush got stripped of his Heisman a few years back for taking some bread, and Johnny said he will not show up. So, Mike D, what you think about that joint?
Well, I agree 100% because, I mean, when USC did what they did to Reggie Bush, it really changed my outlook on college football as well. I really didn't watch college football as much. Reggie Bush was treated unfairly because he was an 18, 19-year-old kid who I'm sure boosters or whoever told him, like, look, we want your parents to come see your games. We can get them a house. We can do this, this, and this. And he said, yes, I want my parents to watch me play. And everything that he did on the field was legit. He didn't take no steroids. He didn't, like bump himself up or do anything to cheat that out the way. And he won those games. He set those records. All those trophies that he won and all the banners that they have in the hall or had in the hall, he earned those legit. And the fact that they tried to erase him from the whole school, but they kept everything that was monetary gain, that's terrible. I think it's one of the worst things that's happened in sports.
That is terrible because you can't tell me nobody else on that team wasn't getting no bread. I mean, I remember I was reading the paper that I'm not snitching or nothing, but Matt Leinart was staying with Nick Lachey and Paris Hilton, and I'm pretty sure he was getting bread. I mean, just don't.
Did you see the Johnny Football documentary?
No, I didn't see. I watched the first 20 minutes of it, and I had to turn it off, man, because it was sad. Man, he looked like he was on dope.
Funny thing is, when he was out there really getting money and just picking up bags in Miami, he's talking about this. So I ain't snitching. He said that when they questioned him about it, he was like, "My grandfather's an oil guy," and that was it.
What?
He lied. Like his grandfather was down with it. His grandfather was cool, so his grandfather was like, "Yeah, if they call me, I'll tell them that's what it is." But yeah, he had the ability. I guess he understood his complexion for the connection at the moment, where he could just say, "If they question me about money, my grandfather's an oil guy."
Well, damn. Well, there it is.
And that was it.
There it is.
Reggie Bush didn't have that ability to do that because they know all of us that actually have some money. If Reggie was to say, "My grandfather's an oil guy," it's like, well, who's your grandfather? We only know about 10 of those guys.
George Washington Carver.
Right. My grandfather is Tyler Perry.
I mean, they need to give my man back his trophy. And speaking of the trophies, I want to segue into this real quick. They announced today that 10,000 athletes have opted in to the new college football game. Now, I know, Mike, you remember back in the day when I think it was on Sega or was it PlayStation, when you couldn't
take it way back.
I think they changed it when the O'Bannons wouldn't let them use the name. It would be like player 1, player 2, but now in 25, you can put the players' names and likeness in the joint. They're paying them $600 each. EA Sports says that $600 is in line with they pay other people. So I think they pay players in Madden around the same amount of money. 2K, that's kind of the same scale. But yeah, 10,000 people have opted in to 10,000 players, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited to play the joint.
No, I think that's cool. Anything that's going to support the athletes and get them monetary gain for their hard work when they're out there basically slaving for free, I'm with it.
But I heard a coach.
I do think it could start something where certain people could say, "Well, I want more and I deserve more because I'm carrying the game and this person isn't." So
Well, they probably have to pay the cover a little bit more, and I'm pretty sure that Shador might be on the cover. You know what I mean?
Somebody said Dreamcast. Was it Dreamcast?
It was Dreamcast. I remember the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was dope.
Dreamcast was.
I wish they would have came out with another Dreamcast. To be quite honest with you, but they folded. They don't make consoles no more.
I see one of our next topics is another sports topic, but I do want to cover this one. What do you mean questions about Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game?
Yeah, there's questions about Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Now, Mike, for the audience that doesn't know, Mike and I go back, almost 30 joints. So this is not a new conversation. So tell the audience, who was the first person that ever had questions about this game?
I remember a lot in our relationship, Ron, but I don't remember too much about you having questions about Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. I will say this. A lot of people disrespect Wilt Chamberlain and his overall records. When I found out this man got 55 rebounds in a game, I didn't question the 100 points anymore.
No, but Mike, what I'm saying is there was no footage of the joint, right?
It's not.
There was no footage of it. The footage, there was no complete footage of the game. Nobody's got all 4 quarters of it on tape.
Did you see Babe Ruth hit 715 home runs?
No, and I don't think that happened either. So I'm not.
I believe that happened.
I'm not sitting here just saying it's just Wilt, but there was an article that came out on The Athletic. I'm about to pull it up right now.
So disrespectful. Go ahead. I want you to lead into this one because
I think they were trying to sell the league at the time. You know what I mean? So it could be, and this is on The Athletic. So this ain't Ron making this up. All right. So I'm about to share the screen. Y'all can see the joint.
Yeah, I want to see this. And I have a whole lot to say. And we're about to get on some music topics too.
Yeah, we got to get on the music, y'all. We going to
so
start
people
it off.
don't think we're just gonna be on some sports stuff. We're gonna go on some music.
We should start a sports show, but we ain't gonna do that. We gonna keep it music.
And I'm still getting over this cold, man. I feel like I've been sick for like 2 weeks. Jeez.
You ain't got that. You don't got that thing, do you?
Nah, I got regular stuff. I feel better.
So this is The Athletic, right? It says Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Why are some saying picks or it didn't happen? So this is an article. This is from The Athletic. This is a reputable site. You know what I mean? They saying it didn't happen.
Well, read some of it. Like what's in here?
They said, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go to this one. They said the skeptics populate TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, and X with videos posts asking, is there any actual proof of Wilt's 100-point game? Did the NBA fake Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point record? The popular podcast Pat McAfee catalyzed the skepticism last year, debating whether on his panel whether one man could have possibly reached 3 figures in a 48-minute basketball game. So how did we get here? Let's consider the roots of suspicion. The common thread of most skeptics is there's no video footage of it.
This is so
no video footage, Mike.
This is so disrespectful, man. Because
also,
you know what?
Also, there's
go
no
ahead.
radio play-by-play. So they said another thing: the existing audio of the game just covers the fourth quarter, so it's only partial audio. So there's no full recording of the game. There's no first quarter audio. There's no second quarter audio. There's no third quarter audio. It's only a fourth quarter audio. And
this is what 1962, right?
They have other full games from the season. This is the only game, from what I'm reading, that there's no full recording of it. It's kind of suspicious, bro. You know, I'm just gonna keep it.
I will say this. Number one, the NBA never did Wilt Chamberlain any kind of favor, so I doubt that he would be the guy where they would sit there and say, you know what, let's make up 100-point game for him. There are other stats that this man. Now, I could see if Wilt was a guy who had this one amazing game and doesn't have like a career full of amazing things. Like I said, that 55 rebound game, or a season where he played the full 48 minutes every single night. He led the league in assists when he stopped scoring. Like everything that the dude did was extraordinary. He was an athlete. Have you seen the footage of young Wilt Chamberlain running the court? It's incredible. This man's out here doing the high jump. This man's jumping out the gym, blocking a shot, and he's 7'2". Now, if I didn't see those things with my own eyes, then yeah, maybe in a vacuum, I wouldn't believe 100 points. But this guy was something else. This guy was like how Michael Jordan was for guards in the 80s, where he was just a new version that the game hadn't caught up with yet. That's what Wilt was in the 60s for big men. And at this point, I don't even think there's been a big man since him as athletic, as agile, as big, strong. I mean, the man went out there and outlifted Andre the Giant. Like these are real things that happen. And I know it sounds crazy and incredible for people who don't know. Like I'm just talking shit. I'm not. Like, do your research on Wilt. He's probably the most interesting athlete to ever walk the face of the earth, man.
Well, Mike, let me ask you this real quick. What's his second career high? What's it? So he got 100 points. What's his second?
I want to say it's like 80 something.
Okay.
Let me see real quick. Hold on, I'll pull that up right now. Chamberlain.
So let's just say this while you pulling that up. So you don't find it suspicious there's no audio of the game in the video in the game?
No, because it's the 60s. I think we look at the NBA as for what it is now and how it's highly televised. I mean, there was a time when the NBA Finals wasn't even on TV. Okay. Yeah, 100, 78, 73, 73, 72, 70. Yeah, I believe it.
So he didn't crack 80. He didn't crack 90. So he just is
one. He didn't crack 80. He was 2 points away from 80. Are you kidding me? Like,
I just don't. There's some skepticism.
No. Who else in the history of the game has, what is this? 70 plus games?
Look,
Nobody.
I'm not disputing whether or not he was good or not. I'm just saying there's some doubts that there's a 100-point game ever happened.
Well, that's not a good conversation. That's, an otherworldly conversation. Is there anybody else
Has
who's
anybody
gotten
talked about
55 rebounds a
has
game?
there been a documentary of players that were in the game saying that this was the crazy?
Yeah.
I've never seen.
I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen a guy who was actually there talking about it. And that's the thing too, man. We grew up in the 90s. Wilt used to be on TV all the time. You know what I mean? Like, they used to talk to Wilt all the time. He used to brag about everything, and nobody questioned anything. I don't like that the Athletic is going to wait until this man's gone and start questioning shit. If y'all want to question the game, y'all should have said that when he was here. And they wait until, what was it, 62? Most of the people who were at the game and around that game are probably gone now. You know what I mean? Now you want to go out here and say it was fake. Get out of here.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, man, I think it's enough sports for the day, man.
Okay.
Let's get into this music, man. I'm looking at the comments. Folks said y'all didn't do the Vultures review, man. What's up with that? I mean, we
did do a Vultures review. I think we need to go more in depth with the Vultures review, but Vultures is a solid album.
I think it was better than Donda, in my opinion.
I think Coop agreed with that too. I think Coop agreed that it's better than Donda. I'm still on the fence with that because with Donda, man, Def Jam threw Donda out, right? And the version that Kanye actually put out there and he sequenced much better, I think is much better than the initial Donda that came out. Jail is a banger. Praise God, it's a banger. Like, he got joints on Donda.
Junior Part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he said that Y3 is not coming out.
Yeah.
That's all cap, even though I think some form of it does exist. I just don't think he wants to do that. That's not where he's at musically right now. He's at a place where he ain't trying to make stuff that he's already done. He can do that stuff in his sleep.
Well, this is the thing, and not to give too much information, but Ron and I were just, we had a conversation with Pete Rock too, and he said something that made me think. Kanye is a collaborator right now, and I like collaborator Kanye, right? But I would like for him to do some Kanye stuff. And like you said, maybe that's not where he's at right now. I think he's comfortable with collaborating, and that's cool. But I think when we talk about, and that's the producer in him, but when we talk about people who are reigning supreme and running an era or, running the game, you kind of got to go out there and do the solo stuff. I think that's why Late Registration is so important in his catalog. As great as the College Dropout was, that was still us looking at him as producer Kanye. Late Registration, that is the artist. And I say it all the time on the show. When he came out there with Diamonds and started off that shit like Close Your Eyes and Imagine, Feel the Magic, Vegas on Acid, Seen Through East St. Laurent Glasses. I'm like, he's a different rapper now. Like that, he's an artist now. And he hadn't shown us to be that individual artist. And I'm not saying to be the old Kanye, but to be that guy that doesn't need a whole bunch of collaborations. He hadn't shown us that in a minute.
And I don't know if he can. I think he's in a different space. I think he's entering into a Dr. Dre era of Kanye, right? I think he's more of like a curator. He's more like he's acting like West Side Gun right now. You know what I mean? He's just hearing music and sounds, and he's putting shit together, and he's working.
We don't want that from Kanye.
But I don't think he's in that mode yet. I mean, I think I don't know. I don't think he has it in him. I don't think he wants to do the Drake thing. I don't think
he's saying he's washed.
I ain't saying he's washed. I'm saying he's more so in the Dr. Dre mode. I mean, he's more so he's transitioning into something else. He's a curator. He's not trying to rip the globe no more. He's done that. You know what I mean? He's trying to be like Michael Jackson. He's picking his spots. He's more like Prince in his latter years, right? Prince could have still I heard he got crazy albums in the vault. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
He could
sure.
ripped up guitar solos and did crazy and then dance and had a whole bunch of, a crew with him. You know what I'm saying? A band. He went
Yeah.
back to Red. I don't think he wants to do. He's more about being an enigma. He's like his life is art. That's what he's on.
People keep saying we got to talk about the Schoolboy Q. We're gonna save that for A2HH Live with Mike D and Coop on Wednesday.
Did you get the album yet?
What's that?
The Schoolboy Q. Did you hear it yet?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Schoolboy Q's production choices are always on point. It's kind of, I don't want to say too much, but it's kind of all over the place for me. But I
gotta admit, y'all can say that for Wednesday because you know why? For one, you and Coop will have a much more in-depth conversation about it. Number two, I'm not much of a Schoolboy Q fan. So
Coop's big on Schoolboy Q. That's his favorite guy out of TDE. So
I'm not a big
I'm interested.
I'm a big fan of that collective. I am a big fan of J. Cole, and I think that album needs to come on and drop because I'm hearing it's great. That's what I hear.
So, is your Kanye conversation coming from where you were talking about is Kanye the greatest rapper out of Chicago?
Yeah, that's my thought. I mean, my question is, he the best rapper out of Chicago, period. I'm not talking about artists. I'm talking hip hop artists. I'm telling you, he's the best MC from Chicago, period.
Okay, well, I got to keep it real. OG Winston, yeah, Coop. We got to get our Monday schedules together. So just went ahead and did a quick mic check on a Monday, just so y'all can have some content. But yeah, we're gonna be doing A2HH Live on Wednesdays. What was I gonna say? Okay, thing with Kanye, man, and I've said this on the show. The pushback for people is going to be the ghostwriting or the possibility of ghostwriting. And let's just say hypothetically, Kanye wrote every single thing that he's done from beginning to end. Then I would say that the answer to your question would be a yes. But if he's written half of his catalog, I think that may be unfair to somebody like Common.
And when you say written, because let's be for real, let's keep it a buck. You don't think Kanye wrote some things for Common? You don't think?
I do.
Okay.
And I'm glad you said that because I do feel like some things that are on B, which is Common's best album, have a bit of a Kanye flair to them.
They do.
I feel like Black Church Services, Murderers, A-Rab Serving Burgers, is Cats with Gold Permanents. Like, that sounds like Kanye to me.
Exactly. So we can't knock Ye. We can't knock Ye because people we're in the studio and added a bar here and there.
This is what Ye is. He's transparent. And he'll tell you things that nobody else in rap will tell you, right? Another rapper, let's just say rapper A over here. They're not going to tell you they had ghostwriters. They're not going to tell you, certain things about the intricacies of the industry. They're not going to give credit for such and such. Kanye West, on the other hand, is going to tell you everything. And so, Midget Mike with the super chat says, ghostwriters for the right price, I can make your shit tighter. Mad skills. Yeah. But yes, Kanye is very transparent with what he does and how he operates. So a lot of the things that we hold against Kanye, we don't hold against other people because we don't know, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that Kanye has written shit for that he won't even say anything about. It's kind of like the Drake thing. Because they can say whatever they want about Drake getting help from Quentin Miller and this and that. How many people you think Drake done wrote for? I listened to a few Wayne bars that I know may have come from Drake. But he's not going to say anything about it because, that's not his place to do so.
I mean, that's part of the game, man. I'm pretty sure back, and we don't get too technical with it. And maybe that wasn't the case back in the day, but I would assume when the Wu was recording the album as a group, they bounce ideas off of one another. Like, man, do it like that. Add this right there. I would assume that happens, but maybe it's an intricate thing where people just go in their little corner with their pen and their pad and they write and they go spit it. Maybe that's how it was, but I assume it's collaborative.
In my mind, when I think about ghostwriting, I think about somebody literally penning your whole joint from top to bottom. If I come through with a verse or an idea or how I'm going to come with something, and you just come in and be like, well, you know what? Instead of saying that, you should say this and that. That's not ghostwriting. You know what I mean? Like, that's not quote unquote help. I'm sure everybody gets input from anybody. That's like if you're writing an email and you read it out to me and be like, how does this sound? I'll be like, I wouldn't say that here and say this. That doesn't mean I fucking wrote the email, right?
Right. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
But if I wrote an email and sent it to you to send it, you know, like you sent it yourself, then yeah, I wrote the email.
You wrote the email. So I guess you answered the question. Kanye is the greatest Chicago rapper of all time.
I am God. Shout out to him. He says Twista is best rapper in Chicago. And Mal 7 also says Twista raps the best from Chicago. You know what? Top to bottom, got to give it to Ye. And the other person that I would have in the conversation is Common. I'm looking forward to the album that him and Pete Rock are going to put together. But the fact that Kanye produced his best album, which is B, and I can hear Kanye's influence lyrically all over that album, I'll give Kanye the edge.
Kanye? All right. Well, shit, I'm looking forward to the new Vultures too. That should be dropping. I don't know when, but should be coming soon.
Next topic.
I want to hear Vultures too, man.
Nah, it's coming.
I want to hear Vultures too. I mean,
we just need more content from Kanye.
I mean,
but you know what? What about Lupe as an MC? Like, because lyrically, I will say this: lyrically, the strongest rapper out of Chicago is Lupe Fiasco. Now, I will say that. But Lupe's brain is just different, man.
I mean, he can rap, but I just don't think the music kind of resonated. I don't think his music stands the test of time. I don't think he has anything. No, I don't think he has a classic.
Ooh, be careful with that, man. Now, I disagree with those sentiments, but I think that the connectivity when it comes to Lupe may be a little different than somebody like a Common or a Kanye, but I think he got timeless music. I think that he has classics too. I think what Lupe has experienced or had experience in his career is just timing, man. Like, he came through during a time when the game was in flux. And I mean, I can attest to that too, because I was trying to be a rapper around that time. And it was tough. I think if Lupe comes around during the time that Cole and Kendrick and those guys come around, things are very different.
That's true. So let's stay on Chicago topic. Off the top, mic check. Top five Common songs.
Mic check. Top 5 period, or just my favorites?
Your favorite. I mean, they got to make sense. You can't pick something whack to be the top 5 Common songs. You got to make sense.
Look, Thelonious is one of Common's best songs in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Thelonious is crazy. Staying with the same album, I'm going to go to 6 Cents. It's one of his best records. This ain't in order either. I think The Corners is one of his best records. Trying to reach for the dynamics here, because I know I'm going to leave some things off. I know everybody loves I Used to Love Her. I love the theme and all those things, but I don't love the record as much as everybody else. Shy City is one of my favorite Common songs. That's off of B as well. And you know what? My final pick, I'm going to say The Food, but I'm sure I'm going to go back and, you know what? No. I would give The Light that one.
Off the top, off the dome, I'm gonna say The Corners. I want to say The Light. I'm gonna say Hungry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say The Sixth Sense, and I'm gonna say, damn.
Midget Mike with the super chat said I used to love her.
I'm gonna say The Food.
Yeah, The Food's crazy.
Food's a crazy record.
Yeah, we both got The Food in there.
Next topic. What we hitting?
Freaknik documentary? No?
No, I don't want to talk about the Freaknik documentary.
Well, Coop and I are going to talk about the Freaknik documentary trailer Wednesday.
Yeah,
but
I don't
my
want.
biggest issue is 21 Savage's involvement. And
was he even alive when the Freaknik joint jumped off?
I mean, I don't think so. And he's from the UK, so.
I mean, they didn't have Jermaine. I saw little bits and pieces. Jermaine Dupri.
The executive producers are Luther Campbell, Jermaine Dupri, and 21 Savage.
That's interesting. I don't know how they picked 21 Savage to be the executive.
I don't either. And I don't like Mark Lamont Hill being in there either. So
I would think they would have picked Ludacris. We would have picked I don't know.
Well, I think they were trying to pick somebody that was going to connect to the youth. I would have liked a Quavo pick. I'm sure Quavo would have loved to have done it because Quavo's really Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You can hear it in his music, in his choices when they do the Scrub the Ground remake and all that stuff. Like, yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, man. As a person from here, and it was around during that time as a kid, seeing the 21 Savage additive, it turns me off, man. Like, I really don't even want to see it.
I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about watching it, Doc. I'm scared I'm going to see some people I know.
You probably will. Yeah, Quavo is from Gwinnett, but at the same time, man,
he's not from London, England.
He's not from the UK, right? You're like 15 minutes away from the actual city of Atlanta.
Some far away. Who said that? Somebody said that?
OG Winston said
OG Winston, where you from, bro? Are you from Atlanta? Because you talking about Gwinnett. Gwinnett, like it's some far off land, bro. Come on. I like OJ. OJ Weston gave me love when we did that Drake and Future battle. I think he scored it my way. You know what I mean? So shout out to OJ Weston. What else we got in the topics, man? We ain't be on it all night. Yeah, we want this Monday show to be something different. We need.
You said the Meek Mill and there's a lot been going on with Meek Mill.
Long story short, I mean, Meek Mill had an interesting weekend. I don't even know if this shit is real or not.
I heard Meek Mill say something in the clip. He was on $1 Million Worth of Game, and I guess they was talking about jail, and I just seen the clip. He said losing a cellmate is like losing your chick.
wait
he said that. Wait a minute. When I saw it online, I was like, he didn't say that. I went and found the clip. So he was just talking about how close of a bond you build with somebody in jail. And when it's time for them to go home or whatever, like losing your chick. And it was funny. Gilly started laughing. He with the wallows, like, you ever felt like that? Like, no, man. He's had an interesting week, man.
He's had an interesting week. And that picture, I ain't laughing with the brother. He had a car accident, which is unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
That picture looked crazy, man. I couldn't, I don't know if that was a real photo.
I'm glad he's okay.
And he had music that came out. And
DJ Academic highlighted how, he got 3,000 sales or whatnot.
He's independent, so let's be fair here. He's independent.
I agree.
I did hear a little bit of the music, and I don't know what the people think. I just wasn't feeling it. I'm not a big Meek Mill fan. I don't. His earlier stuff I like, but I mean,
again, I think his strength is in the collaborations, right? Like, I think that you get his most memorable stuff outside of the intro when he's collaborating with somebody else. And I think that when you're independent, you kind of lose that strength of being able to have Rick Ross on the record or have Jay on the record or Drake on the record or whatever, and it can fall flat. I would say this: we all follow his Twitter feeds, and his Twitter is so the DJ academic follow. His Twitter is so entertaining. I wish that he would have used that outlet to promote this record, like, over a duration of time. It felt like once the Diddy stuff broke or whatever, people were talking about with that document, then he started promoting the album, and it was like, well, that's not what people were talking about now. You know what I mean? Like,
so I mean, let's think. I mean, Meek, he's been trying to do the prison reform joint. He's been working in the background on different things. It may be that time in that stage of his career to segue into something else. So what could Meek do? I mean, I know he has a lot of businesses and stuff, but I think the rap game might be coming to an end. I'm just speaking. I'm not, I'm not.
Think so?
I mean, when's his last joint that really connected? I mean, I
think championships, and that might have been what, 2018-ish. Was
so
that
we're 6 years later? I mean,
Yeah. But again, that was a big rollout, man. He had the What's Free song with Rick Ross and Jay, with the Biggie remake track and all that stuff. Had the song with Cardi B. I mean, that's another person that we don't talk about either, man. Cardi ain't dropped the album since 2018.
She just dropped a new record.
He dropped a single over a Missy She's a Bitch track. It's like, that's not something that you announce. You know what I mean? Like a record like that, or quote unquote freestyle like that, you just put that out, right? Oh yeah, championships is 2017. My bad.
7 years.
Yeah. With Cardi, like, that's not something that you just announce. You like, I got song coming Friday, yada, and then you put out a song that's basically a remake.
It was in Cardi's defense, it was a teaser. If you watch the video, saying, Offset directed the joint. She said, this is the beginning. Okay. This is something else that's coming out soon. And I think her rollout, I think nothing's really connected. The Bongos record didn't connect like that.
That's a flop.
I mean, she should have dropped when Up came out.
Yeah.
That was a big the song with Kanye and my man Dirk didn't connect like that. You know what I mean? I think Up was the last big hit that she had. She should have dropped when Up came out.
Well, this is the thing, and I tell Coop this all the time. I mean, I don't have any insider knowledge, but based on the way people put stuff out, you can tell when they don't have anything in the chamber. When Up came out, she just didn't have anything.
I mean,
she just didn't. Like, because like you said, that song was actually doing okay. And if she had anything in the chamber, she would have put out
where's her EP. Where's her writers at? Where's her producers at? I mean, she should be ready to roll out.
I'm sure she's recording stuff, but it's probably not good.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I like the record. I like the freestyle. I think it's dope. It's better than Bongos. The Missy joint is like 20-something years old, so it's not like the new generation really knows what that is. You know?
Like 25 years old. Yeah, it's an old record.
Yeah, so it was time for it to be flipped and sampled. You know what I mean? But back and let's not let Meek skate, because I know we got.
Well, hold on. Speaking of the UK, girl out of the UK, y'all probably know her name in the chat. She redid the Missy shit like a couple years ago when she was on the train or whatever, and she did a great job at it. So it's not like this is an original Cardi B idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's remaking something that somebody just did like a couple of years ago.
Let's keep it a buck, because on that Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz album, they flipped that back that ass up. And right. Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign just did the same thing. So it happens. It happens. You know what I mean?
But yeah, back to Meek.
What I'm saying, I think it's time for Meek to transition out. And what I mean by this, when I mean transition out, I mean it's like Little John. Like Little John's a DJ now. You know what I'm saying? Little John has a show on HGTV. I think your fiance, she does decorations and interior design stuff. I think it's time for him. Have you seen that show, Little Joint?
I've seen that it exists, but I haven't watched the full episode.
It's on HGTV. He does houses. He's connecting with the new generation. You know what I mean? And what I'm thinking is time for Meek to figure out what the next move is, like, because I think this is not working.
This is the thing, and maybe Meek can prove me wrong, right? Lil Jon is somebody who came in the game as a DJ and then was an A&R at So So Def. He's responsible for the So So Def Bass All-Star stuff. Then he transitioned to being an artist, then a producer, back to a DJ, saying all that to say he's always had plans on what was next. When I view Meek, I feel like he's just a rapper, like he planned to be a rapper. That's what it is. Now, I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but transition into what?
I mean, he could run for mayor of Philadelphia.
He said he doesn't follow politics. He got on CNN and was talking about prison reform, and when they asked him a question about politics, he got on CNN and said he doesn't follow politics. But like we get on ESPN.
He just got his tweet say he just got off the phone with the governor. So what you mean he don't follow?
Well, that's what he said. I'm just going by his words.
Okay.
He said he don't follow politics. So, but maybe he's changed in that light.
Well, maybe he's changed. I don't know, man. I just think the rap thing ain't working. Champions came out in 2017. It's 2024. So, I mean, I think it's a hard sell. I think Meek and Ross. I don't think they can put Ludacris in that category.
Yeah, because you know what? Meek and Ross actually put together an album last year, and it didn't do what people thought it would have done maybe like 5 or 6 years ago.
I think it was too late. And I think the 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne album was much better.
It was. And you know what? That happens because, you know, and even with one of my favorites, like y'all know how I feel about Wu-Tang. Y'all know how I feel about Ghost, Meth, and Ray. When they put together that album together, it was just, you know, it was dope, but it was just too late for that. Like,
it's too late.
We would have loved a Ghost, Meth, and Ray album in 1998. Jeez.
Right. And I think another too late album is gonna happen when Drake, Nicki, and Wayne do an album together. That's gonna be too late.
I don't think Drake needs to do that.
I think Drake should drop an album with J. Cole. I think he's going to do another.
That could happen. He's probably going to do that.
I think he's going to do another collaboration now. I think the 21 Savage run is done. I don't think that's.
But I don't even know what that was. Again, when you got 21 Savage being paired up with Drake to do a whole album, and you got this dude as an executive producer on the Freaknik documentary, who is this guy? I gotta ask questions now.
I mean, he's from this. What is he from? I don't know where.
Like, does he even have big records like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I like 21, but it's certain people where it's like you understand like the work that they put in. Like they treat 21 like he's put in Future type of work.
Well, that's not front though, man. When 21 Savage came out, he was hit.
I mean, no, I mean Savage Mode was dope, but
and the stuff
X was the biggest song, and who was on there? Future.
And the stuff he's done with Metro, that Metro album was tight.
I mean, again, it had a few records on it, but it's not like he had big hits because for him to do an album with Drake, a guy who has all these hits, I mean, you can hear the gap on the album. Like Drake was clearly better than him.
He's
really,
like,
I'm not trying to be funny. That's not the person for him to be doing an album with. Now, when he did an album with Offset in Metro, that makes sense. Even though I do think Offset even raps better than him. But him and Drake, I don't know.
21's like an enigma, man. He's like one of those people that just, I don't know.
British, that's what it is.
No, I don't know if he's British because none of them British cats really even made it. Like the Skeptas and what's the other dude's name? The Gigs. Those dudes never.
Oh really man, they're big. Yeah, I know. OG Western, No Heart was huge. I mean, that whole Savage Mode was huge.
I mean, I don't think he's a British. You think he's an agent? Is that what you're trying to say?
Don't put words in my mouth. Bank Account was dope, but y'all act like Bank Account was like, y'all act like it was Bad and Bougie or something. Like, he don't have those kind of records. Like, he don't.
I mean, we can't
Uzi,
say because he's
look,
British.
Uzi got bigger records than him. Now, if they were treating Uzi like this, I would understand. Uzi's bigger than him. Uzi has bigger music than him. He does, man. Does 21 have a song like I Just Want to Rock? No.
That's interesting, Mike. I don't know. I don't know.
He doesn't. Even that what that All My Friends Are Dead song, like songs were huge, man. Now I personally would listen to 21's music before Uzi's, but Uzi's the bigger artist.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think him being British has anything to do with it. Mitch and Mike say he says he's an industry.
Shout out to UK.
He says he's an industry plant. We need to go. We got a lot of love in the UK, man. We need to go and do something over there.
Yeah, I love the UK. No, I'm not saying he's a plant. I just need a little bit more clarification on how he's able to get these opportunities without the records. Like,
but Drake was always a big fan of 21 Savage. You remember when he first came in the game? I think Dre bought him
he bought him a Porsche, which was suspicious. Like, not even your artist.
But I mean, he wanted to sign him, I think, right? I think that's what it was, right?
He was already signed.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. But I think it's time. I think he's like, I don't know how we got back to 21. We were on Meek. How did we get?
I thought we was off Meek. Pause.
I don't know, Meek. I think we might have to get back on Meek.
No. Ain't getting back. No, ain't none of that.
Pause. You got to find that clip. We got to find that clip for next Monday. We're gonna start the show for that clip about.
What are you talking about?
The cellmate. The accident.
Clip.
The biggest suspicion thing looks the accident looks really suspicious. He said the brake came off the pedal. I don't know, man.
Yo, man, maybe it's a Philly thing. You know, they did the same thing to Teddy Pendergrass when he got into that car wreck when he had the tranny and the transgender in the passenger seat. I watched the documentary on Teddy Pendergrass, and they interviewed the person that was in the car, the transgender person, and they said he was pressing down on the brakes, but the car was going faster and faster.
Wow.
They said that and they believe that, you know, some authorities or maybe some gangsters or whatever in Philly set him up. So I don't know. Maybe something happened to his brakes. I don't know,
man. We got 2 minutes left, man. I want to end this show with a quick Siskel and Ebert type review. I've been trying to find some time with the wife to kind of pass the time other than, you know, other things. We watch these movies on Tubi and we found
we're going to do Tubi reviews. Yes.
Yeah, we found a movie called The Mail Lady, and I thought this movie was a semi-hood classic. Mike, what did you think about The Mail Lady?
I thought it was hilarious. I thought that I thought that the concept was, man, it's so much. The guy was doing way too much, and he was wrong on all levels, man. I don't think it was that realistic, but it was entertaining. And at the end of the day, are you entertained or not? And if you want to watch an entertaining film, this is definitely something that will entertain you.
I thought it was good. I thought the part when she was airdropping him, he was at the table with his wife, and he was like, "Oh, somebody texted me." She's like, "Nah, that ain't no text. That was an airdrop." That was a crazy movie, man. I heard it's gonna be a part 2.
Well, yeah, I don't want to give away the movie for people who haven't seen it yet, but yeah, it's wide open for part 2. The part that got me was when his wife was back home and she came to the door, the mail lady that is, and he just started throwing her stuff out. And I was like, what is he doing? He just threw her stuff to the side and was like, yeah, it was
crazy. So So we gonna give these reviews every Monday, and I think next week we're gonna give a review of the Lawnmower Man. That's the next one.
I got to check that out.
Killer Zaddy. Killer Zaddy. I want everybody to hit like and subscribe. Next week, we're going to do something different. We're going to have to take live call-ins. We'll have the number up next week. OJ Weston, Midget Mike. Who else in the chat? We'll take live call-ins on the mic check. Mike will talk to the folks. We'll make it happen. We'll have that number out 7 o'clock next Monday. Wednesday, Mike D, A2HH Live. We're going to talk about Blue Lips. Q, Vultures again, the Freaknik documentary. Hit like and subscribe. Hey, if we get to 25,000 subscribers, we'll send out some money. So tell your friends to hit like and subscribe. We got to get those numbers up.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, mic check. We were here on Mondays. Just a quick one. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that we give you guys content bi-weekly until, you know, Coop and I figure out our Monday schedule.
Pause.
Right. But yes, tune in to A2HH Live on Wednesday. We will be talking about Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips and really take a deep dive into that album. And yeah, we got a whole lot more to even talk about as well. The Stephen A conversation where he said that Eminem is more consistent than Nas and put Eminem over Nas. Coop and I will discuss that on Wednesday as well. Make sure y'all tune in. Appreciate y'all tuning in here. Shout out to you, Ron, for jumping in. RKY, the camera guy.
Peace. We'll check y'all next week. Next Monday. Call in. Boom.
For sure.